What's poppin'? Coming up on 10:30, that means it's time for Celebrity Dish, and we have master stylist, one of our faves, Billy Maloy. He's always popping.
Always
including today.
And looking quite dandy, I should say.
Inspired by the Met Gala.
Oh, I love it.
You did that.
Talk to us about it.
This is a creation I did. I have a side business called Billy's Embellishments.
Oh, that's
and
incredible.
BE, so it's just B.
Uh-huh.
And I saw the flowers, and I saw a bunch of people with flowers and dandies. I was like, you know what? I want stuff like that for the spring.
Yes.
And the summer. So I was at Black and Iconic, and I wore a brown version of this to match Hope Giselle's dress.
Yep.
And because she's a good friend. And then I just did this because I want to be green and summery for you guys.
Oh, tell me more about Black and Iconic, because the pictures are everything that I saw came out of that event.
Black and Iconic was the BET's LGBTQIA soiree celebrating the LGBTQ community. And Hope was getting the Emerging Leader Award. And she's a very close family, like we're family, friend of mine. So I went with her. And I was hanging out with Scott Evans, and I was hanging out with T.S. Madison, and Avery Wilson literally came to our table and sang to Hope in front of me. So I have great photos of that. It was amazing. The whole event was so celebratory, and no one was pretentious. You know, everyone was really kind in the room. It was really, I felt very lucky to be there, especially, you know, I don't fit in. But
it's about celebrating marginalized communities. And I think now that we're in Pride Month especially, everyone there understood why they were there.
And everybody looked incredible. Even Marcel, I mean, everybody looked incredible.
I mean, the community building that was there in that room was fantastic.
It was it was amazing.
Everybody wanted to be connected to other people. You know how you go to events and nobody wants to talk to each other? This was that type of event that everybody was at everybody's table going and making friends.
Bob the drag queen came to our table. Then I watched him doing it, go to every table of all the other winners, and then we were doing the same thing.
Wow.
It was amazing. And Hope let me be like pushy Uncle Billy. So I was like, every now and then I'm like, do you want me to go get TS? She's like, go get her, bring her over to the table. Because her dress she couldn't move in.
Whatever you all had in terms of good energy, they really need that on Broadway right now.
They
need it.
Oh,
it's
Patti.
our first Celebrity Dish. You want to get into it? I know you're well versed like I am in it.
Let's do it.
It's mudslinging. Call it what it is in the Great White Way. Broadway legend Patti LuPone apologizing following remarks that she made about two actresses in a New Yorker magazine interview. Now, in the interview, LuPone used explicit language to criticize fellow Broadway stars and black women, Audra McDonald and Kesha Lewis, when asked about a controversy that circulated during her time co-starring in The Roommate. This was late last year. The play shared a wall with the Tony-winning musical Hell's Kitchen featuring Lewis. LuPone reportedly asked for sound accommodations because the music would bleed through the shared wall. She said it was too loud. Lewis later called LuPone's actions racially microaggressive and rooted in privilege in an Instagram video. Now, McDonald gave the video a supportive emoji. LuPone now describes her comments as demeaning and disrespectful to her Broadway peers.
So she's saying that she admits that they were demeaning.
Yeah, but she also was very dismissive of both women's accomplishments, too.
So
they're all decorated legends.
And she did call Kesha the B word.
Yeah.
That
was the explicit term.
Yeah, so it felt, I believe it was completely microaggressive. And the people that are trying to justify it, like, oh, Patti's outspoken, I'm like, but you're denying how these two black actresses feel about this situation. Why are you minimizing that, but you're also minimizing what Patti did? You know, I mean, we understand movie theaters. Sometimes you hear the theater next year if it's a loud show.
All the time.
All of that. Patti went to the manager. There's a Karen move in there, and which seems microaggressively racist.
And then sent flowers after they made the change that she asked for. Yeah, so there was a lot there, and I think, too, a lot of people at first, they thought, this is Patti LuPone. She's always this way. I mean, we talked about her before, taking fans' phones in the audience, going off on one fan that didn't have a mask on during the pandemic.
And some of that I agree with, but this was, it felt more motivated.
Yeah, and it was definitely personal.
Oh, it's completely personal. And then because Audra liked it, she attacked Audra and was dismissive and got silent when asked about the performance in Gypsy, totally degrading another legend.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't understand it. I mean, it's so privileged, first of all, that you can call the owner of the theater. Like Patti, you're working on privilege. Your perspective is privileged from Group A. She should apologize, but she should mention the racially involved insults.
Yeah. Well, she did say in her apology that she wanted to also apologize to both women face to face as well. We'll have to see if that actually happens.
I mean, you get half a point. She apologized.
Yeah. Don't you hate to see this type of behavior?
Yeah, especially from our legends.
Especially from legends, especially inside of Broadway. All of them are in, you know, kind of the top of their careers. These are not women who are just starting in Broadway. These are women who have been in it for a while. They've likely worked together before. So to now be at this point in their career where this is now going to kind of muddy the name, like you said, mudslinging, but muddy the name of LuPone for a long time.
Yeah.
Well, they've done a lot of Sondheim events together, and they've worked together, but they haven't seen each other in 11 years. And the fact that Patti did this is really sad. Because basically, we know they're both on the same side of the fence. You're both women in an industry that isn't always supportive of women. Though Broadway right now, most of the shows leading on Broadway have black leading actresses, which is incredible. But for her to demean that in this moment, too, is really sad, to your point.
So was she saying that the walls were just too shallow and that they were yelling between the walls? What was going on?
Well, she said the music, the production essentially was too loud. And
Hell's
there were
Kitchen's
some people,
a loud show.
Hell's Kitchen, and they said that was racially microaggressive by even using the term loud.
And she was saying the
black
unsaid
production.
thing was that it's a black show.
Yeah.
That's kind
Loud.
of felt suggested. So I get that.
Well, at least she apologized, and it's a rare apology.
It's a rare. She never says.
Never apologizes, so we'll see what happens. Well, next up on the apology tour, a lot of those over the weekend, Kesha Cole. The singer is speaking out after saying Ashanti and Nelly are expecting baby number 2. She dropped that, didn't she, during a recent appearance on The Breakfast Club. The star name dropped the couple, saying, quote, shout out to Ashanti, because, I mean, she's amazing. She got a baby, she's pregnant again. And as you can imagine, fans had a whole lot to say following the online uproar. Kesha apologized and stated she was not aware that the pregnancy hadn't been made public yet.
Oh, yeah.
Ouch.
You spilled some tea.
Right
you spilled some tea. And I think, unfortunately, you know, for somebody like Ashanti and Nelly, who have kept most of their relationship.
I'm sorry, I hear Ashanti. Ashanti.
Oh, keep going. They've kept their relationship mostly pretty private for the most part. They haven't allowed a lot of media to kind of get in and start to, you know, mess up their relationship. They've been able to make their relationship really tight. So to see somebody like Kesha Cole, who we haven't seen in a while, I'll just put it that way.
Another point. Is this an honest mistake or a way to make news?
I think this was, well...
You know, there's certain people pop up every now and then because they need to be relevant.
That's okay.
That's
all I'm saying.
Okay.
I mean, Kesha, she's got a legacy. She has, you know, people love her songs and stuff. That was a while ago.
I mean, she was probably just torn between the two.
I love that love song. You know, I hate that she did it. I have sisters, cousins. You do not release that type of information until they do it first.
Yeah,
so
and a part of me wants to leave her alone.
Yeah. That's why I said maybe it was an honest mistake. We don't know. Okay. It's questionable, but we do not know.
But a part of me wants to go back home.
I'm not talking about it till I hear you talk about it.
Period.
Even if I'm not that close to you.
Yeah.
That's not my business. Won't say none, won't be none. Don't talk about other people's stuff.
That's all I'm saying.
And she knows that publicly. She knows that.
She knew that. She knew that.
Okay, well, next up, a pardon for a Potomac housewife. Well, one former housewife is now advocating for Karen Huger to get help from President Trump. It's getting real. Producer Chris is here now to explain.
That's right. We're all about reality this morning. Remember, President Trump, before he became president of the United States and a real estate mogul, was a reality TV star. If you're up to date, you know he just pardoned a former reality star. And now another former reality star is asking for a potential pardon for a current reality star. And we're talking about Real Housewives of Potomac star Katie Rost and Karen Huger, former Real Housewife of Potomac star Katie Rost, I should say. So the former reality star is calling on President Trump to pardon Karen Huger. She reposted coverage of Todd Chrisley's release over the weekend and called on the president to take a look at Karen Huger's DUI case. You see the message on the screen right there. Rost also said that she believes Karen needs treatment, not prison time. Karen, remember, is serving a 1-year prison sentence following her DUI conviction in Montgomery County, guys. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But a lot of pardons out there right now, and a lot of talk of pardons right now.
Right, because, you know, I mean, also in the conversation is, well, he pardoned Diddy, right?
Yeah.
That's also in the conversation. I think this is one of those topics where you got to kind of, move real slippery with, because pardons are a very challenging conversation, especially for the United States, because it seems like it can be preferential in many ways. Is it something that the president is using to pay back somebody else, or what?
Loyal.
Or being loyal to somebody? So those are the conversations, the debate that's out there. Does Karen deserve a pardon? That is the question.
What do you think, Billy?
I think Karen deserves treatment.
But a presidential pardon? No?
No, I don't. And honestly, I'm clean and sober. So I am coming from I believe in the disease of addiction. I think that should be treated.
Yeah.
And if that's owned, and if the person admits to that, then yes, there should be treatment. There's so much I've heard being in town about this, that there were deals on the table and that they were denied. So, you're in prison. We have a video. It's not great, So I don't see this as presidential pardon material.
Treatment first and foremost.
No.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to look at the other side, where some melanin challenge folks are getting preferential treatment, then yes, sure. If Chris Legadoff, get Karen off. That part, I'm like, yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, there's some people saying you can't do for one and not the other.
Right.
Right. I mean, but they're talking about white collar crime versus DWI, and I'm of a few minds. It's a slippery. You're right.
Slope, yeah.
Well, Billy, thanks for coming and staying.
Billy,
He
good
has
to
a
see
whole
you.
segment
Good to see you
coming up
guys. My
after the
pleasure.
break.